All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the Hero... excuse me. This is the Hero Hour. And this is the artist known as Andrew. And let me just check my levels real quick. Hero... excuse me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice and loud. Okay. I may want to turn that down just a little bit. Give me a second. How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? Sent out some invites to a few people, and we'll see if they show up. For some reason, Avery doesn't seem to get his notifications like we used to. I'm not sure if it's YouTube, not sure if it's Google, not sure if it, what it is, but he tends to have issues, so we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we're going to do some drawing. Yay. All right. Let's see here. Hey, Commodore, how's it going, man? Oh, crap, where's my sketchbook? Ah, yes. This doesn't work if I don't have my sketchbook, I found it. It's hidden. It's hidden away. Oh, I'll put my keyboard up here so it's out of the way. All right. I do have an idea of what I'm drawing this evening. Possibly. Oh, Avery says he has Hangouts up and there is no invite. All right, give me a second. Let me try resending. So now I got to pull my... Try that again. Hey, we're the monkeys. Everybody's monkeying around. Please don't anybody copyright strike me for singing the monkey song. But, it's always possible it will happen. All right, hold on just 1 second. I need to do one more thing. I need to get some reference up real quick. Oh, I'm in a good mood today. I don't know why, but I'm in a good mood. Let's see. Hero Chapter 15, I believe, is what I need. Oh, there we go. That's what I need. God, I love it when I find it right away. Oh, that wasn't really right away, but I knew where to go when I found it, so I'm happy. All right, take off the screen. And boom. All right. All right, guys. I'm going to hit the record button on my camera so I can record the video. And, of course, it stops working. Doesn't that frickin' figure? Let's try this again. Hit the record button, and there we go. All right. And once again, we are adding a drawing to my 2019 Sketch-A-Day sketchbook, which I already have. So what's today's date? 21st. So I've got 21. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I like that one. 19, 20, and today's 21. Yeah, okay. Isn't it good to know that not only am I a good artist, I can count too? Hi, Avery. How's it going?
Well, at least you can count.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's like progress in this world, Page 67 is what I need.
You can count.
Yeah. I mean, if this art thing falls through, I can always fall back on counting, right?
It's going to fall through.
Yeah, I keep doing. Are they still? Do you know if they're hiring for Sesame Street? Because
I know.
I can count at least up to 21. So I mean.
Oh, I was about to make that joke myself.
Did I steal that one out from underneath you?
Nah, I was about to miss. Like, I was about to make the count to 21. I was going to. If you didn't, I was going to.
Okay, well. So how you doing today?
Tired.
Yeah, I understand that. I feel really, really shitty. I got to tell you what happened last night. It's bad on me, and it's one of those things that happens. But you know how they do the wrestling live stream drawing, and they originally had it set for Friday, and they had to cancel it and reschedule it till Sunday, and they scheduled it for 9 o'clock on Sunday. And I was thinking to myself, okay, it goes usually for like 2.5 hours, and I figured, okay, not a problem. That means I'd be up till maybe 11:30. I got to go to work the next day. So, it won't be too bad. I think I can handle that. Well, 9 o'clock, I look and I got a message that they were pushing it even further. They were pushing it another hour. And I'm like, well, crap, what am I going to do for an hour? So I'm sure you're aware the Patriots game was going on at that time. The Patriots Chiefs game.
I'm not aware. You want to know why I'm not aware?
I know you're not aware. I was saying that sarcastically.
Okay.
Hey Bethany, how's it going, man? I was saying that sarcastically. Well, since I had an hour to kill and the game was going on, I went ahead and went into the living room to sit down, and I said, and I begged the wife, can I please put on football? And she said yes, because she knows the season is almost over. So she's willing to, she's willing to what is it when you give in to somebody?
Acquiesce.
Yes, she acquiesced with me, which was great. So I turned it on.
Sort of how you ended up with kids.
And yes, and the game was actually fantastic. I know a lot of people out there aren't Patriots fans, but there was like 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and 3 of them were done by the Chiefs. I mean, it was getting intense, and it ended up ending, at least the regular time, with a tie. And come to find out that there's only 2 games that's played this past weekend, and that's the 2 championship games. This is the first time in NFL history that both championship games went into overtime. And I mean, this is absolutely common sense, but with regular overtime in the regular season, if after the first 15-minute quarter of overtime, the game is still tied, the game's over, and it ends in a tie. Because these are the championship games and determines who goes to the Super Bowl, there is no tie at the end. They could actually play a whole nother game if nobody scores. They could actually play another 4 quarters if nobody scores. And it's just fascinating to me a little bit, But the game was very intense. It was very good. And the Patriots, of course, they won the toss in to decide who gets the ball first in overtime, and that was pretty much the game. You give Tom Brady the ball in overtime, and that's the game. And that's exactly what happened. The Pats went right down the field and scored, and the game was over, and they won. But it was very intense. It was very awesome. It was a good game. I mean, I have no dog in the fight because I'm a Jags fan, so I don't really care who wins and not, but I was watching it. Well, it turns out because it went into overtime, the game didn't end until like almost quarter after 10. Now, of course, they wanted to start at 10 for the drawing thing. So I'm already at this point running close to 15 minutes late. I'm like, oh, crikey. So I ran into the office. I logged in. I got into my Twitter, and everything was going on. And I got the invite, and I went to the page to see how things were going. And they already had 10 people in the live stream. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I missed getting in, and they had plenty of people. And so I didn't feel bad about not being able to join because they had a full house, But I felt bad that, poo-poo happens, guys. Poo-poo happens. And I didn't get to draw on the live stream last night, which is okay. Their subject matter was the greatest tag teams ever. I don't have a freaking clue anything about tag teams. I couldn't name a single one, I don't think. Was there a tag team group called the Road Warriors?
Yep.
I think that's the only one I could name. I don't know any others, so the smile is a little bit too wide. But I did go into work this morning, but I plan to watch the live stream tomorrow when I'm actually at work. Today, when I went into work, it was only for a portion of the day. I got done early, and turns out yesterday was a company holiday, so technically I was going to get paid whether I went into work or not. I wasn't going to get paid any more because I'm salaried. So I went in to get some stuff done, and then I left when I was done with it. So I was only in for like 2 hours or so. Bethany says, what channel is this? Hardy Brothers are best ever. Hardy Brothers? Who are you talking about? And Joshua says, poo-poo language. I'm trying to behave. I try to behave.
That was a horrible story.
Which part?
All of it.
The part where I told you about football, or the part where I told you about how bad I am about not joining a live stream after I said I would join the live stream? Bethany
says,
didn't
need to be anywhere near that long.
Bethany says Hardy Boys are a wrestling tag team. See, I had no idea. I had no idea whatsoever. Sorry. You should have included that in your statement. Okay, Hardy Brothers are the best ever. I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Oh, the channel the drawing was on. There's a guy who has a channel named Testosterone Overdrive or Overload, and they started doing a drawn and quartered type of style live stream, and they call it Drawing Blood. And I'm not sure that it has been on Friday evenings. I'm not sure if they're changing that, but they moved it this past weekend to Sunday night. But I'm not sure if they're moving it back to Friday or not. So, but that was kind of the brainchild of P.S. Melter. So I think he's the one that originally came up with the idea, and he's a fan of wrestling. And the guy that does Testosterone Overload. Why do I keep saying Overdrive? Is also a big fan of wrestling and does a wrestling type YouTube channel. And there you go. That's it. I really like the drawn and quartered type shows. I think those are a lot of fun, and I hope to one day start one here on Misfit Corner Comics. I have no clue what the subject matter would be, or if I could find 5 or 6 artists who'd be willing to just draw Hero all night long, I'd call it Drawing Hero. But I don't think I can get anybody to be willing to do that.
Dear God, no.
That'd be like Ethan starting a channel drawing, Cyberfrog.
Oh, well, Ethan could do that.
They could, but it would probably get boring after like one episode,
No. It would be very entertaining, and he wouldn't have a problem having artists on there.
Shut up.
Cyberfrog every week.
Shut up. Nobody's talking to you anymore.
Why? Because I'm telling the truth?
Would you go on a live stream where all we did was draw Hero?
Oh, God, no.
See, that's why I said it's not worth it.
Yeah. Now, would I go on a live stream to everybody drawing Cyberfrog? Yeah.
You wouldn't go on a live stream to draw Hero?
Oh, no.
You're just such an evil bastard, man.
Why? For telling you the truth?
No. Well, then again, I do appreciate that. Oh, Bethany went and subbed to it. Very good. We need to get you hooked on wrestling. Oh, man. Do you want to know the truth? The truth of the matter is when I was at that teenage age where wrestling was popular with a lot of the guys, I did have a friend. I had a best friend who lived like 2 doors down from me, and he was into wrestling, and I just never got into it. And the reason is I was into karate. I wanted to do karate ever since I was, my mom said I was 6 years old and I wanted to do karate, but the only karate karate studio that I could go to was one on the base where my dad was in the Navy. So it was one on the base, and you had to be at least 10 years old in order to sign up. They didn't want any little kids, which, I understand that. So when I turned 10, my mom and dad signed me up for karate, and it was fantastic. I loved it. I was very into it. I was actually pretty good at it. And had I stayed in it, my goal was to go to the Olympics one day, because they had started, stop laughing. They had introduced, it was that year that they introduced Taekwondo into the Olympics. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to go to the Olympics. And what ended up happening is, all right, I'll try to make a long story short as I can. But I started in Jacksonville, and I think it was either ATA or USTA. It was either the American Taekwondo Association or it was the United States Taekwondo Association. I forgot which one it was here in Jacksonville. But I started when I was 10, and I got to a green belt, which is like the third level. You have white, yellow, and green. And then we moved, because my dad, like I said, was in the Navy. We moved to Pensacola, and they did not have whatever association it was here. I think it was USTA. I'd have to double check, but it doesn't really matter for this story. So when we got to Pensacola, the group of Taekwondo association that they had there wasn't the same, and they would not recognize my green belt. So I had to start all over again from white belt. Now, of course, going from a white belt to a green belt, that's maybe a couple of months. It's not a big deal, So I quickly went from a white belt to a green belt, and then I moved on, blue belt, yellow or red belt, orange belt, all those different belts. And I actually got my first degree black belt in Taekwondo. And because of my age, because I was 13 at the time that I got it, I was able to qualify as a student instructor, which the student instructors had the freaking cool uniforms, and the fact you had a black belt, and then you had the red stripe that ran around your neck and down. And that to me looked cool. When you became a second degree black belt, you got a black stripe. And I'm like, I'd rather just keep it red, because the red looked awesome. So then, of course, my dad, for medical reasons, had to retire from the military. And my parents decided they wanted to move back to Jacksonville from Pensacola because they liked Jacksonville better. Jacksonville at the time, well, it's still a growing city. It was a growing city, and there was a lot of job opportunities, and there was a lot of stuff happening in Jacksonville. So we packed up when my dad retired, and we moved back to Jacksonville. So then I went back to the whichever Taekwondo association they had here, and they refused. They would not recognize my black belt. They wanted me to start all over again at a green belt. And now you're talking 2 years worth of training. And because of my age, they wanted to put me in the kids classes, not the adult classes. So I was a trained black belt into kids class as a green belt, and it was like, and I told my parents, I said, guys, this is not going to work for me. I'm not going to.
How many belts did you lose?
What?
How many bouts did you lose?
I didn't lose any bouts. Actually, there's a funny story about that.
How many small kids did you beat up?
I didn't beat up any small kids.
Well, you should have.
Actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. I
think less of you for it.
When I lived in Pensacola, there was a punk kid in the neighborhood who picked on me because I was short and I was small and I had glasses. And he picked on me. And my dad said, I have a way to fix this problem. And I said, what's that? He said, you have a testing coming up in which you have to break boards. I said, yes. He said, we'll go out, we'll get a stack of boards, and we'll practice on the back patio. And the cool thing about where we lived, we were on base housing. And my back patio was right in front of the playground where everybody played. All the kids came to play at the playground. So he says, we'll go outside and I'll let you practice breaking boards. And I'm like, okay, but everybody's going to see me. He said, that's right. Let's just do it. And he had bought like 20 boards, went to Home Depot, bought the wood, cut it up. And I did front kicks, I did side kicks, I did elbow smash, I just did everything I knew, and I broke every single board the first time out, no problem. I was wired, and all the kids in the neighborhood that were watching me, including that one punk ass kid, never messed with me again. I never had to do a single blow, but you know, sometimes that's how it works.
These kids are weak.
But to finish this story about the karate is I gave up on karate and I went to a high school that had regular sports and I joined the swim team. So I went from karate to swimming.
So what you're saying is you went from a black belt breaking boards to a board man breaking belts.
That doesn't make any sense.
I've seen that belt around your waist.
Hi, Todd.
You've seen the leather strain.
Now, when my kids we had joined this was before Mike. This was more before Mike had his surgery. He had corrective surgery on his legs, which they cut his bones and twisted his legs. It's all a whole thing. We had been members of the YMCA and we signed the kids up for karate. So both kids did do karate. I think they were both in long enough to get their yellow belts, but I went and did it as well, and I got back to a green belt again. And this was a different association. So technically, I have 2 different green belts with 2 different associations and a first degree black belt with another. So, but then again, this is back. I always joke with my wife. I said, this is back in the days when I was healthy, and not fat, because I'm a big old fat guy now. But that's okay. But my daughter knows how to punch. My son knows how to punch. And
you know how to make punch.
Yeah, you're funny, man. You're funny.
He is funny.
Oh,
Hey,
come
Lorenzo.
on, dude. That was pretty good.
Hey, Lorenzo, how's it going? He says, this is a stream I haven't watched many times before, but it seems quite entertaining. Well, that's what we try to do, man. That's what we try to do here.
Nobody watches. You're in good company.
Oh, shut up. Todd,
it's true.
you guys are nothing but motivation for me. You know that?
That's right.
Yeah, we're just trying to motivate you. It's called tough love.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Todd, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man.
How's life treating you? How cold is it up there in the frigid north?
It's like -3. and what you want to we have a laundry place down the street. We don't have laundry in the apartment.
Right.
Up here in the cold north. But so we have a laundry place down the street and we just drop it off and have them do it, and it's fine. So I dropped it off yesterday and I couldn't make it back to pick up the laundry bag. So it was right maybe 2 or 3 o'clock. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go pick up laundry. So I get dressed and I walk out the door and it's freezing cold. I'm in New York. And so I was like, you know what? I wanted to do something good. So I was like, you know what? We're running low on coffee. And, I wanted to get a couple snacks or something. So I was like, you know what? Let me go walk to the grocery store and I'll pick up a couple things because it's kind of on a loop. So the grocery store is kind of like, if you think of a cube, like a square, it's the grocery store is in the top left hand side of the square. The laundromat is on the right side of the square, and I'm at the bottom of the square, right? So it's kind of like a nice little circle or a square or something. So I go to the grocery store. I'm freezing. I am bundled up, and I'm still freezing. I get there. I put everything into the basket. I get to check out, and I start to look for my wallet, and I realize that I left my wallet back at the house.
I've done that.
But you have a car, so I had to walk back from the grocery store back to the house, get the wallet, and then after that I was like, screw it, I'm not going to the grocery store. So then I went to the laundromat and the people at the laundromat weren't there. So I had to wait like 30, 40 minutes for them to get back from wherever they were going.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a long day. But, I've also, just been doing other things, working on stuff. My wife is 9 months pregnant, so she's about to pop.
Any second now, right?
Pretty much, man. her mom came up, grandma came up, so she's staying with us to help with this one, which is nice. That's nice. I won't have to look up, Google searches when the time comes, like I had to do last time.
Google searches for what?
Well, I don't know. Well, I told you the story, dude. Like, last time we were getting ready for bed, and I was in pajamas, and Melissa was in pajamas, and she was in bed reading a book, and all of a sudden her water broke in bed, and we'd never seen that before. She was like, Melissa's like, "Am I peeing? What is that? Why am I peeing? Is that pee? Did my water break? Oh my god, I think my water broke." And so I said, okay, what do we do? And she said, I don't know. And we went to the classes, we did the whole thing, but like when it comes down to like,
you weren't paying attention to those classes.
No, well, we do, but we are not expecting it. Like, and she started going into labor like immediately. They're supposed to be like, oh, your water breaks and you have several hours, so there's no pressure. And like she went into like contractions immediately. So we were like, holy shit, we got to get you to the hospital. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So she's like leaking all over the bed, and I break out a laptop and I started Googling like, my wife water broke on the bed. What do I do? Google search.
And what did it tell you to do?
Get to the hospital, you dumbass. So then we don't have cars. So but we live in an Indian neighborhood, which means that we live where all the taxi cab drivers live. So we went over to a taxi cab space, and and like Melissa has a towel with her, and she's having contractions that are like 3 minutes apart, which is like, I mean, it was immediate. It wasn't like, oh, there's 7 minutes and then there's 5 minutes and okay, No, she went like right to the end goal.
Right to shooting out babies.
Pretty much. And so we're standing there, and it's like, that like elevator music is playing basically, and you're just like, hey, hi, can we have a cab? I don't know. We'd like to go to the hospital. And we're trying to be cool, because if they see that Melissa's about to give birth, they won't, there's a chance that they won't let her in the car. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to have a baby born in their cab. So Melissa's like smiling and grimacing and like gripping my hand and like crushing every bone in my hand because like she's having contractions.
Sure.
And then we get in the cab, and we threw a towel down. So we did it really slick so the cabbie couldn't see. And then we're just like, yeah, we're just visiting somebody in the hospital.
And they believe that?
You could do a little faster. Well, I don't think he cared. We didn't look like, she wasn't like, Melissa was using every acting skill she's ever had to make sure. And then we had this whole big shindig, like basically we were forced, like, because of, it's so messed up, but I don't want to go too deep into it, but because of health, where healthcare was at that point in time.
Right. Yeah. I know part of that story.
We had to go through the emergency room, which is crazy. That's a whole different story.
Yeah. But
yeah, so we're preparing for that again.
Well, at least this time you're right. You won't have to Google it. You'll know what to do. Go to the hospital, dumbass.
Yes.
Did my water break?
No, not yet.
Did my water work?
Yeah, no, yeah, that was like.
Well, like, I think.
Why am I peeing? That's not pee. That's a baby.
See,
that's a hand.
The one advantage that my wife and I had is that both times her water broke, she was sitting on the toilet.
Oh.
I mean, well, it's a good thing.
Is it?
Is it?
Well,
but is it? What if the baby just slid right out?
I didn't have to clean up the bed when we got home.
That's true. That's true. Luckily, it was her side of the bed, so it was all good.
And the divorces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, at
least it wasn't my side of the bed. Thank God.
All right. Guess what happens when you don't let the water dry before you start inking on top of it? it bleeds all over the frickin' paper.
We were just talking about that about 2 seconds ago.
Oh, jeez, Louise. No, it's so gross.
What do you think Todd's linking his next comic with?
I mean, next time if you want me to use innuendo.
All right, hold on a second. We got stuff going on. This Lorenzo says this is the stream I haven't watched. Okay, we already said that. He says some of the streams with more followers are good, but focus too much on drama. I avoid drama streams. Yeah, we don't have any drama except for the drama that we bring ourselves.
Yeah.
And then Bethany and Lorenzo both say congrats, and
thanks.
And Chaxmano says congrats. So
thank you so much.
Lorenzo wants to know, does that make it a waterbed?
It kind of does.
So gross.
Hey D, how's it going? D says Andrew is moving into Omaha, the cat dancer territory. What kind of animal is that? Well, it is a cat, and this is
Omaha.
actually
You said Omaha. Oh my God, that's a throwback.
I screwed up the script, but this is actually a character that is going to appear in Hero Book 3. Her name's Bast, and she's not a very nice person. That's as far as I'll go with that. She's gonna show up, and she's gonna be in the story briefly, but then she may come back for even more hijinks later. But she's not a very good person.
She doesn't look like it.
No, well,
she looks. Oh wait, that's your drawing.
I screwed up. Oh damn! I screwed up her mouth. I put the inks down before I was ready. Well, I screwed up. Oh well.
Oh, Andrew, I'm so ashamed.
There's counseling for that, buddy.
Yeah, whatever. Shut up, you two. Chax Meno says, "Poor girl." I think he's talking about your wife.
Yeah, she puts up with a lot.
And Bethany says, "Almost had my baby on the side of the road." Ooh, that's not good.
We don't know. It might have been a nice road.
I mean,
now I don't know if I ever told you guys the story about my son's birth. I'll make it quick, I promise.
I've left a few in a dumpster.
No. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So my wife and I, we weren't married yet at the time, and her mom worked with the civil service for the Navy, and one of the things they did is they did classes for expecting mothers, and they showed them, birthing techniques and talked about raising kids and breastfeeding and all this stuff. And if you went to the class, you got a free baby bag with all the stuff in it. My wife really wanted the baby bag with all the stuff in it, so she agreed to go. So I drove her all the way out. Now, for those people who live in or are familiar with the Jacksonville, we were out in Mayport, which is where her mom worked. And my future wife, the woman holding my child or birthing my child, said to me, "You got to come with me because I need you to be there." And I said, "Okay, fine, I'll come." We got there, and it was a class filled with women. There wasn't a guy in sight. And she turned to me and said, "All right, listen, there's no other guys here. If you want to leave, go." And at the time, I was working all the way out in Bay Meadows. And I said, which is like halfway across town. And I said, "Okay, let me drive out there and pick up my paycheck, and then I'll come back." And she said, "Okay, perfect. That works." And she says, jokingly, she says to me, "If I'm not here when you come back, you know where I went." Now, this was back before cell phones and all, right? This is 25 years ago. And I said, "Okay, no problem." So I left, and I drove all the way out to Bay Meadows and picked up my paycheck. And on my way back, I stopped at the comic book store and hung out at the comic book store for a little bit. And that's a part of the story that I did not tell my future wife. So I get back to Mayport. I get to the place, and I find the people that are there. And I'm like, "Hey, where's Jennifer at? Where's her mother at?" She said, maybe 3 minutes after I left, Jen went into the bathroom and came out and told her mom, "I think my water just broke." And they rushed her to the hospital. And I'm like, "Oh my God." And it probably took maybe a half hour to get out to Bay Meadows, get my paycheck, turn around. I spent probably a half hour, maybe 20 minutes at the comic book store.
I like how you're giving like geographic locations, like people know where the hell Bay Meadows is.
Yeah, I know, but you guys know where it is, so you know what I'm talking about. And so I get back and I'm rushing. I'm racing to the hospital because I know which hospital they're going to, which just happens to be Memorial off of University. So it's all the way the other side of town. So I get there and I'm calling and I stopped off at home and I told my mom and she made a few calls and then I got there. I got
one
to
of
the
the
hospital.
worst hospitals in the city.
Well, it wasn't back then.
Yeah, it has been for a long time.
No, it wasn't. It's what we could. It's what we got. But needless to say, he didn't come till almost 11 o'clock that night. So I had plenty of time. I could probably have hit 2 or 3 more comic book stores on my way. But needless to say, Jen and I got married 10 days after Michael was born, and we've been together ever since. But it wasn't till it was maybe 3 years later that I admitted to her that I had stopped at the comic book store on my way. And
I bet that went over well.
Well, she's already stuck with me. By that time, we had 2 kids, so she was stuck with me. But, oh, man. Hey, Avid, how's it going? He says, okay, Marv, we're going to hit this house and do a live stream in it. It looks like Harry, the sticky bandit from Home Alone, is drawing because of those gloves. Yeah, I tell you what, I wore no. Let me tell you this. I wore these gloves this morning because it was cold out. Okay. Now, granted, as you could probably tell, they don't keep my fingers warm, but they do keep my hands warm.
They look like you just took an old pair of socks and cut it up.
No, these are actual mittens, and I cut them up.
Those are hobo gloves.
They're hobo. They're absolutely hobo gloves, but they work when I'm drawing because they don't smear the pencils and so forth. I actually wore them to work this morning and wore them the entire time. Lorenzo says he stopped at the comic book store first. No. I went and cashed my paycheck first, and then I went to the comic book store. I don't know if I bought anything while I was there. I think I just stopped in and said hi to everybody. So, it's one of those things where, So the wife would not be happy with me if she knew that's what happened.
Well, she does now.
Oh yeah, she knows now. Well, that's also around the same time that she admitted to me that the only reason why she went out with me that first date was out of pity, that I was a pity date. Which, I kind of knew, I kind of knew it was going to be a pity date, but you know what? It may have been a pity date, but I got her. She's all mine.
I'm not touching that, man.
No, you're not touching it. No, you're not. You're not going to say a word.
Huh?
Rohypnol.
I didn't have access to drugs back then.
You still don't have access to drugs.
Well, I have access to her drugs. She's got plenty of drugs.
Yeah, maybe like a, what is it? EpiPen or whatever?
EpiPen?
What?
EpiPen.
EpiPen? What does an EpiPen have to do with anything?
No, Jennifer's medicated, dog.
Oh, yeah, she's got it all. She's, from what I understand, what my daughter has told me is some of the stuff my wife has is what she calls the good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. She has that card, that little state issue card. The clinic that only takes cash, that type of place.
The only clinic.
Actually, it's not a clinic. It's a dispensary. I'm sorry. It's not a clinic.
The dude on the corner.
Yeah. Wait, she's going to Romel's house?
I'm not going to tell Romel you said that.
All right, I'm going to be right back. I got to go say good night to the little girl.
All right, we're going to look and see what Avery's working on now.
I'll be back.
Oh, page 20. Everybody, take a look. This is page 20 of Hero Book 2. He's wrapping up the first chapter of Hero Book 2. Oh, wow. Look at all that white spots right there at the top of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wonder who's the idiot that did that.
Oh, I'm leaving it too. The way it breaks up the panel.
Well, not in the tree, I hope.
Yes.
Okay.
Look at the way it breaks up the panel.
Yeah, but it looks bad, especially on the other side, on the right-hand side.
No, it doesn't.
It looks like there's white stuff dripping down the tree. All right, well.
Which side?
Both sides, up there at the top and then on the right-hand side as well.
You mean the trees that are in the foreground?
Yes, the trees that are in the foreground.
Okay, I'll take it out of the trees that are in the foreground.
Okay. And the top, it's fine, I guess. That works. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. I appreciate it.
Well, you drew all these panels with the drawings unfinished.
Well,
and they're not blocked off.
Well, that's the one page where I had originally cropped the middle section out completely so that you could focus and you could actually see that there was somebody in the tree. Where in the black and white version, it's very difficult to see that person. So, but knowing that you're going to color it just made me, add it right back in, all these technical stuff we talk about, Man, oh man.
There.
Back on my nails. Very good, very good. I appreciate it.
I guess I'll do it on this one too. I don't think it matters because that one's knocked back.
Well, it just looks like white sap, like dripping down the page,
No, it doesn't.
Lorenzo says, "Oh, that's different," and then he says, "I like the trees and river a lot." Well, thank you. I drew that. Actually, I think that was one of the pages that I did not use reference for. There's a lot of panels in this book where I specifically looked for reference for what I was drawing when it came to the backgrounds, just to get an idea. And this is one I pulled it right out of my butt type of thing. So, yeah. Lorenzo says, this reminds me of the graphics in old adventure games. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're going to definitely need to remove that stroke from the tree. It actually kind of hurts it, The one that's in the foreground is the one I'm talking about, so. Oh. So there's only 2 more pages left. There's only 2 more pages left in the chapter that you're working on right now. You have an idea of how long before you're going to need some more pages?
Nope.
No? Okay. I'm going to make a point to try to get the next couple done for you.
I've got to do this White Wolf thing.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Uncanny just sent me a message that says, hey, what's up with the live streams? What do you mean, what's up with the live streams? I'm doing them right now.
Yeah, I
don't know send him an invite if he wants to join. Hold on. Oh. All right, guys. Sorry, I know there's all this dead air there. I'm getting there.
Yeah, I know. You're all. What's wrong with you? I swear to God.
Oh, hush.
I swear to God, you're the worst.
Bethany says, oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Lorenzo says the image is like something out of King's Quest. I remember that name. I just can't think of what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I recognize the name, but and then Bethany says my notifications keep going off. Tons of people are streaming. Yeah, that's what happens. They hear I'm streaming and they say, "Ooh, we got to block this guy."
All the important people. It's like, listen, us peasants need a chance.
Well, it's Chester's live streaming right now. John Malin's live streaming, of course. He's got to step all over me. The only person who doesn't step on me is Richard, and I appreciate it. Cam Mano says, I think it's pretty. Well, thank you. I mean, Avery, if you look at the original black and white for this page, it looks good. I like it. I'm happy with it. But when you add Avery's colors to it, it just completes the image. It makes it right. When he's on.
Let me turn off.
When he's on, it's good. When he's off, he sucks. But right now, he's on.
You suck.
Yeah, well.
You're awful.
I'm not awful.
You're awful. You're the worst.
I'm just not right in the head.
I'm the best. You're the worst. Everybody knows it.
Oh, check this out. The other day we were at Oh, I have to actually go back to my screen real quick. Check this out. We went over to Barnes and Nobles. My wife has a Nook, and every time the Nook has issues, we have the warranty on it, so we take it back, and they'll either fix it or they will replace it. And this time they replaced it. But while Mike was walking around, he was over in the Lego section, and he found this piece, this set. This is a Halloween set that they did. I think this came out in 2017, so a year and a half ago or so. But he went looking, and they have them on eBay and some other places for like $30.
Oh, wow.
It was just $10. So
I saw the Devastators for like a couple of bucks.
Oh, they had started to clearance them, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gone now. But some people are trying to sell them online for like $100.
Yeah, I know. They were originally $75. I mean, come on, you know.
Wait, the Devastator, like Transformer Devastator?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Hey, Kodiak, what's up, man?
Not much.
Walmart here had them on clearance.
Yeah.
I legitimately did not know you were on when I sent that. I was like, where you guys been?
We're still here. I told you. 7:30, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I am really, really, really trying hard to stick to that schedule. So
I was worried I wasn't getting the post. There's been this epidemic of not getting told that you're online. Notifications.
Notifications.
Yeah. A lot of people in a lot of channels. YouTube does that.
I've been not only unbelling but also unsubbing and then resubbing to everyone.
Oh my God.
Hey D, how's it going? D says that's because Richard doesn't stream. Yes, I know that. See, that was me making
I wish
a joke.
he would stream.
Oh, wait a minute. I already said hello to D. I didn't realize he was already in here. Man, I am so bad at this thing. This slow live. I really like live streaming, but I'm so bad at it.
It's just another thing to add to the list.
Yeah, I already said hello to D once because he commented, and then I said hello again because I forgot he. I already said hello to D. I didn't realize
All right,
he was already in here. That's got to be Kodiak. Kodiak, mute your live stream.
No, I'm trying, but there he goes.
Oh my God!
You know, I knew there was a reason I liked him. He's just like me.
Yes, every now and then.
Oh,
like, how about this? Me laying in the bed with my iPhone, going, "Hey, when are you guys gonna stream?" And you send me, it's like, "Here's the link." I'm like, "Wait, what? You're streaming right now?"
Yeah.
All right, so Kodiak, Todd, if we did a drawn and quartered style live stream where everybody drew on the live stream, would you guys do it with us?
Yeah, of course. It depends on when. It depends on when, only because I have like life-changing events happening. So, you know.
Well, dude, you can take an hour out of your day and live stream with us to draw.
If it depends on when it is. The answer is
your wife is not going to have a baby within that hour.
Take your sketchbook with you and use your phone.
Don't tempt me.
What, Andrew? What would the rules be? What kind of what?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. What kind of theme type thing would you? I was joking with Avery, and I said it could be drawing hero, and I don't think I could get 5 or 6 people to sit here and draw hero.
You are determined to turn your station into a furry channel, aren't you?
Dude, see, when furries see something like this, they don't know how to be like, it's just a cartoon thing for kids. They go, "Oh my God, can I factor that? Is that furry?"
Well, see, drawn and quartered doesn't have any specific type thing. You know, they do whatever it is they want to do.
Yeah, well, fans pick. They have a straw poll at the beginning, and the fans pick.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to let the fans pick what we draw. I want to decide what we're going to draw ahead of time.
But then you have fan edition that does it different, and it's interesting. And you have drawn in blood.
Ooh, I got an idea. So there was a meme. I think I actually screen capped it. I think I have it. There was a meme going around where somebody put together all these random words for a first name and all these random words for a second name, and it was create your own Rob Liefeld character.
Oh yes,
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and it was all in good. It was all in good fun. Like Rob texted and commented on it. It was like, "Oh no, this is hilarious." But the names were really good. Like they actually sounded like Liefeld characters. So
Like,
what if we randomly
blood
used-
and wolf and
exactly
and young.
wolf blood blood wolf pool. But
Oh, did you?
what if we used that meme to come up with a name, like 3 or 4 or 5 or however many people, names of the character, and then we drew that character, so it was a different character, or we just come up with one character name and then everyone does their version of it since it doesn't exist.
Kind of like, so it would all be original characters then.
Yeah,
Is what
pretty
you're
much.
saying. That might be
Either
cool.
original
That might be
characters with the same name, or original characters with the same name.
Or we could base it on like what they do with Inktober, where it's just a series of words, and you base whatever it is you draw on that word.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could do that as well, where you could base a character on that word. Or I had originally come up with an idea of doing an anthology book that was just based on a color. Like you pick a color, and then everybody do a story that had something to do with the color. And I had thought, red. I had an idea for a story that involved the color red, and of course, it never happened. I never went anywhere with it. But we could definitely do something. But I like the idea of doing original stuff. Not everybody coming in and drawing Spider-Man. Let's
kind of like they do on Drawn in Blood or whatever it is, Drawn Blood.
Right. Well, one of the things they did with Drawn in Blood last night, which I thought was interesting, is they were doing popular or whatever the subject was. It was tag teams, like famous tag teams.
Yeah.
But everybody was drawing a different tag team. Nobody was drawing the same thing, which I thought was kind of cool. Like the one before, it was Hulk Hogan, so everybody was drawing Hulk Hogan.
Okay, I guess.
But this time it was tag teams, but everybody was drawing different tag teams. So that was kind of cool.
When I first heard about Drawn and Quartered, that's what I thought it was everybody drew their own version of what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think that idea, the idea of doing something completely original, but basing it on maybe a name, like Todd suggested, or a term, or a color, or something, might be interesting.
Okay, so what's the rules?
I don't think I'd have to worry about the rules just yet.
Like Drawn Blood has the whatever color amount that week. They're allotted.
Yeah, they can do color. Yeah, I don't know. I think I personally would stay away from color, but I think I would be willing to let it be an optional thing. Like if you were working on something and you were really getting into it and you wanted to add color, go for it. But then again, if the subject matter was based on a color, well, then everybody, of course, would have to have have to be allowed to use the color. Right. But yeah, I honestly, I don't think I would limit it. I would make it.
Did Avery get his set up to draw traditionally?
Not yet.
Because I have the stuff, I just can't do it.
I've also had like this hankering for like a competition where they all have to do traditional or all have to do digital or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't do anything digitally. So.
I'm busy right now.
Yeah, he's got a paying gig that he's working on. He's on a deadline, so.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to him about something like that too, but at a later time.
Yeah, but I honestly, I think if you're more comfortable doing digital work, I'd be more than happy to let you do complete digital. I prefer to do pen and paper and ink. It's not a big deal. That's just the way I do it. But I don't think think that would be a rule that I would limit anybody to. It'd be open to whatever you want. So
gotcha.
Now that we got the rules down, we'd have to talk about
there are no rules.
There are no rules. Oh, all right. So every time a Sunday night, I go to my parents' house for dinner. Afterwards, we always try to play a game. Usually, it used to be poker, which we played poker for like 5 years straight, but they got tired of me always winning. So, I mean, that happens. Then they switched to Uno, and you've never seen a more ruthless group of people playing Uno. It was less about winning and more about smacking down whoever's next to you on the table, and it got hilarious. That cursing, bad words, all that stuff was more than appropriate in times. Well, my mom introduced us to a new game. I don't know if you've ever heard of this game called Spoons.
Sorry.
That sounds familiar, actually.
Okay. So
is that what you do?
See, before you guys go
Are you guys having spoon parties now?
Before you all go and make assumptions of what this game's about, let me explain it to you. What you do is you have a deck.
Hey! First rule of Spoon Club is you do not talk about Spoon Club.
Well, I didn't follow that rule, but that's probably one of the rules. And then you lay out a bunch of spoons on the table, and what you do is everybody gets a certain number of cards, and what your goal is to get 4 of a kind. And what happens is you have 5 cards, 6 cards, whatever it is. I don't remember. I think it was 5 cards. And then they put a new card, and you pick it up, you look at it. If you don't need it, you put it down, you pass it to the next person. And they in turn look at if they need it, they put it in their deck and they put something else down out of their deck. So you're always got 5 cards in your hand. And the cards start going around the table, and it's a very fast game. But here's the trick to the game. Once you have 4 cards, 4 of a kind in your hand, you're supposed to reach out and grab one of the spoons. Now, the object of the game...
This sounds weird, man.
Let me finish. The object of the game is for you to get a spoon. Now, you don't have to have 4 of a kind.
Wait. I watched Oz. I know what they do with the spoon.
Soon as somebody grabs a spoon, that means everybody can grab a spoon. And there's 1 spoon, like if there's 5 people playing, there's only 4 spoons on the table. So whoever doesn't have a spoon at the end gets a letter, and you end up spelling out the word spoon. D says, "Hero the spoon." Yes, I know. Okay. But at first, it was a very friendly game. It got to the point where my aunt reached for a spoon at one point, and my uncle grabbed it and yanked it out of her hand. It was so funny. And I did this is Sparta. I said, this is spoons. There is no family. There is no love. There is no cherish. This is spoons.
Is your family in Jacksonville? You were in Jacksonville doing
Yes, we were in
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
It must be. I've seen this game played. I've heard talk about it. I've never played it, though.
Well, it was actually my niece. My cousin's daughter, not my niece. She's not my niece. She's my cousin. Her daughter was down visiting and was showing my mom how to play this game, and my mom decided to let everybody play it. And needless to say, it came down to my 2 uncles. They ended up winning. We ended up stopping after everybody else was gone. I had an S at the end. I only lost 1 time, and then my uncles.
Well, I can't say that G-rated. Sorry.
Yeah, let's try to be nice here, okay, people. But we got to come up with a name for it so that it's like this is. Whatever it is, it's not.
This is Spunta. I don't know.
But all right, so at least I got 3 artists in here with me that would be willing to do this.
You have 2 artists that would be willing to do this.
Well, I was counting myself, me, Kodiak, and Todd.
Yeah, I'm down.
Avery's down too. He'll do it too. Now it's just the question is when's a good time to do it. And this whole thing about going for 2 hours, there's no freaking way we're going for 2 hours. I sketch too fast to spend 2 hours on a live stream drawing. I mean, I could do 3 or 4 sketches in 2 hours. It really needs to be an hour and a half max. We'll give people time to finish, but that
turns out like in competition sometimes not to be enough time.
Yeah, well, this is more of a quick draw than a draw and quartered. At least that's what I think.
Okay, well, what about people that could, if they chose to, just draw in pencil?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
No ink. See, that'd be totally original to the show too, because they'd always make you at least ink. I suck at inks.
Yeah, well, if you're more comfortable doing it with colored pencil, if you're more comfortable doing it digitally, if you're more comfortable, whatever. We're not trying. I don't want to make people uncomfortable in what they're doing. I want you to be yourself, show what you can do your own thing, but let's create something original, and maybe, I don't know, it could become something later on down the line. I could see a sketchbook put together of all the different art that we create, and something that's offered as a perk in an Indiegogo or something. That
would be awesome.
That would be. It would be. So, all right. Well, we'll think up the next time we talk about this. We'll think up a name or something, we'll sit down and figure out a time that everybody's available, and it's just not going to be Monday, Wednesday, or Friday because those are my days, man. I claim those 3 days. I am like the NFL. I claim Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Those are 3 days of the week that belong to me.
Hey, that's how I ended up watching and becoming a wrestling fan. I used to hate to see Thursday nights. I was like, or Monday nights. It's like, no, I don't want to watch this crap. It's the only thing on. I ended up getting hooked.
Hero, the spooning hour. You know what? D, thank you very much. That's what I'm naming. I'm naming this live stream the spooning hour.
The spooning.
That'll get you some views, but not the kind of views you want.
Hey, did you guys see the video that I put up about Drew Struzan doing the How to Train Your Dragons posters?
No.
What do you mean no?
No, I didn't watch it.
Does it have something to do with spooning?
No, it has. It's Struzan, not spooning. Get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the spooning and the
For those of you out there in the live stream YouTube land, that you go check out the video that I put up. I found it. The Drew Struzman, the official Drew Struzman page on Facebook, was showing off an article by Gizmodo, which talks about Fandango doing an early access to the new How to Train Your Dragon movie, and Drew Struzman, as a fan of the movie series.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Okay, as a fan of the movie series, did a series of posters, 3 posters, images. Now, they're not going to be, from what I understand, they're not officially posters, like stuff that you can buy or will see anywhere. But he did them as a fan of the series, and they're freaking awesome and incredible. And I made a video about it, so go check out the video, guys. And then when you get a chance later on down the line, go check out those other places I mentioned. Yeah.
Don't watch his videos.
Watch the video because the video is cool.
It's probably like sneak Lego videos, dude. It's not about Drew Struzman at all. It's probably actually about Legos. Don't watch it.
I do have some Lego videos up as well. Actually, we got the new. Michael found a couple of the eggs for the new Breakout Beast Series 2 collection, and I made 2 videos on those. And dude, those are popular videos, believe it or not. One of the Breakout Beast videos I did has over 2,000 views.
Guys, I gotta go.
Did somebody use water break?
No. My wife just doesn't like me talking to weird hobo hands.
If it'll help, I'll take the gloves off.
That's quite all right. You keep those sausages covered.
It's cold out here, man. It's cold out here. All right.
You're in Florida, you son of a...
Dude, it's in the 40s right now. I mean, to us...
It's like -5 here.
It was in the 30s for most of the day I was at work.
Oh, you poor baby. I'm so sorry, Todd. Is it really cold where you're at? Do you want to leave? We're gonna send you. He just jumped.
Ready?
Yes, good riddance. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Oh, I forgot to tell him to say hi to his wife. Todd, if you're still listening, say hello to Melissa and tell her we love her, and we look forward to the new baby as soon as it comes.
I don't.
Dude, what's the chance he could do any of that while we're on stream? Oh, her water broke. She's in labor, and have her screaming in the background. Todd!
That'd be hilarious.
That would be absolutely hilarious. I mean, well, he announced on our live stream that Melissa was having another baby. So, I mean, the live stream has been, Todd and his family have a place in our hearts and in our live stream, and the fact that, we were there from the beginning. That's right. This live stream is an important piece of history for that man's family. Well. All right. Well, let's think about when's a good. All right. Since you're probably the biggest pain in the ass here, when would be a good time for you if you were to be involved? Hey, listen, Avery. We could use a moderator. You don't have to draw. You could just moderate the chat and do that kind of stuff if you want.
No.
We'd want you to be there, buddy.
Yeah, but I've got other stuff to worry about.
I know. All right. Well, what do you think would be a good day if you were going to come on to his live stream and watch us do this?
I probably wouldn't.
Okay. You're not helping me here.
I'm not trying to help you. I'm really, really not.
Hey, D, you or Avid or Commodore, one of the other guys who are moderators on this channel. If you guys want to come on and help us do the moderation for the moderate this thing, what's a good day and what's a good time for you guys? We'll see what they say. I don't know if they're still here or not, but I know Commodore chimed in at the beginning. I don't know if he's still here or not, but
I would be able to participate sometimes, but I've got other stuff I got to do.
Yeah. Oh, I understand. But D, Avid, Commodore, you guys are great. If you guys are able to do help us out with something like that, I'd love it. But let me know, or send me a message on the Twitters. You know, Twitter, twat me, whatever it is. I don't know what they call it nowadays. But
I'm hoping to get to work on my channel after I get through this White Wolf thing.
Well, if you did this thing with us, it could boost, subscribers to your channel,
No, I got to work on my channel. Like, I have to produce the content. I can't produce the content if I'm always on yours.
Oh, look at his ear. Boy, I screwed that up too, didn't I?
Of course you did.
Guys, you have to remember when you're looking at Avery when he's doing the coloring, that sometimes, like in that one ear where there's like a big huge splotch missing, that's because I erased the white that was in that spot, because once again, I never intended for the book to be full color. I intended it to be black and white, so I didn't think about stuff like that. So when he's coloring these characters' layers, he's got to constantly look out for stupid little mistakes like that. But he's a good guy, so he takes care of it, just like that. See that? Boop, boop, boop. Fantastic. Avery, you're so good.
I know.
You make me jealous.
Yeah, you should be.
Jealous I never had another son just like you. Oh, actually, it looks like you colored in brown something that's not supposed to be brown. Where his where's the hair on the top of his head?
Yeah, that's the word. That's because of you.
Yeah, I'm sure it's because of me, but I mean, come on.
I'm not done yet.
D says, I think it would be best on one of the 3 days that you have the hero hour on. Oh, come on. I'm trying to expand and do more. But yeah, we'll definitely consider that. Actually, I think I was going to say Friday would be a good time. And I'll be honest with you guys. I like the earlier live streams, the 7:30 live stream. I like it so much better than the later ones, the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock live streams, because Avery and I, and Todd too, to some small extent, have to get up early the next day and go to work. So even on the weekends, I have to do that. So
yeah, for people that make a living doing art, it's
not a big deal. Yeah,
exactly.
But we still have full-time regular jobs, and sometimes I know for a fact that I need my beauty sleep. But Avery, I don't know. I don't know if he gains beauty from his sleep or not, but I definitely do. You should see me in the mornings when I haven't gotten my beauty sleep, man. I look like an ogre. Avery's trying so hard to behave, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap up this stream. The idea's out there. We're going to play around with it some more. This is something we may, let's say it's probably something we'll start next month. Probably won't happen next week. We may give it a shot. But if you are, to be honest with you, if you're an artist out there and you'd like to join our live stream and do art with us, please let me know. I'll send the invite out, and we'd love to have you on. That the more the merrier. That type of thing's always cool. So especially if you have a YouTube channel and you're either building it or trying to build it or want to build it, this could be a cool thing to get onto somebody else's live stream, do some drawing, and bring attention to yourself. We're all for it, definitely. D says, if you do it on one of the 3 days, Avery has to be on the show. No, he doesn't. Trust me. The only reason why he comes on is because, I don't know. I think it's because he's trying to be nice to me. Trust me, he would not be here. Yeah, I would. I say this to my wife all the time, and I mean it when I say it to Avery. Dude, I'd be lost without you. I'm so glad you're here.
Shut up.
All right, and on that note, thank you guys so much for watching.
Gross.
Catch us again on Wednesday. Catch us again on Wednesday. We may talk more about this and plan out more, but like I said, if you're an artist, or heck, even if you're not an artist and you just like drawing, if you've got a setup and you can join our live stream and draw with us, we don't really care what level you are, you know.
I do. I will mock you relentlessly.
Well, you have to be. Well, no. This is part of being an artist. You have to be able to take criticism, even if it's harsh criticism. You know, if you can't take criticism, you're going to struggle as an artist. And the harder, the more critical the criticism is, the better you can become. You know, you have to realize that a lot of people aren't saying things about your art that they don't like in order to hurt your feelings or in order to hurt you or to stop you. It's the ability to overcome and realize that the criticism you're getting is there to help you. You know, you have to be able to take criticism, and we're not going to, I swear to God, we're not going to tear anybody apart. We're going to help. We're going to try to help and encourage you. Okay. You've got
to have a thick skin.
Well, that's just being guys, you know. You gotta have
no. In comics, especially in art, because you're gonna get a lot of "don't quit your day job." Don't quit your day job. I got that a lot. Like, oh, dude, by some big names, just like "don't quit your day job."
And that's when you say, "Well, this is my day job."
Yeah.
But yes, Avery will be. He'll be mean. But he does it out of love. Trust me. He does it out of love. He tells me my stuff is crap all the time. Even when he's coloring it, he tells me how much it's like crap.
I was about to say, because I caught the tail end of that, you guys have always been very generous when like looking at my work, and my work is sloppy because I'm learning as I go.
Yeah, well.
So you guys have always had this, you'll absolutely tell me the truth, but you'll also like, it's constructive criticism.
I mean, how many times have we looked at your art and said, wow, that's a really pretty woman, and you say, oh, that's a guy. I mean, it's happened at least once or twice. I mean, come on.
I think it was you. He's like, that's a dude. Oh. It's a trap.
Oh, on that note, we're definitely ending it now. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. We'll see y'all next time. Later, guys.